I'm over here off of Meadowbrook. I guess part of the historic Meadowbrook area. Um, as you can tell, there's a church right here that I've been to a couple of times. Apparently it used to be called Handley Meadowbrook Christian Church. Apparently what it sounds like is they sold the building back in '09 to, I guess, the black church. And I guess the black church, and I've noticed that it doesn't seem like, of course, the reason why I know that the Handley Meadowbrook Church of Christ, let's see, Handley Meadowbrook Christian Church actually sold the building in '09 is because apparently they moved over to like somewhere on Morris and shared, sharing a church building over there. The only churches I know that are over there are City on the Hill and Crossroads. And apparently the people that bought this was, like I said, a black congregation that bought it. But every time I've been by here, as you can tell, it seems like the yard's not being taken care of because with the grass being tall. So on Thanksgiving, I decided to case out this place on Thanksgiving on the way to doing something on Thanksgiving, having Thanksgiving with some people. Because I wanted to see if I wanted to make a video about this place. But my mom said that when we were living on Killian Street, which is one of these streets that run off of 287, just south of here, she said that when one of the people that was at this church asked where my mom and I was from, and my mom said where we're at on Killian Street, the woman kind of gave a disgusting look, and my mom never wanted to come back to this church again. That's why we never came back to this church again. But this church has looked like it's abandoned. The reason why I say that is because that probably that right there. When I came here on Thanksgiving Day on the way to do some more some Thanksgiving with some people, I noticed, as you can tell, there's 4 units. Almost looks like all 4 of them might have actually. That one still looks like it have a little bit of copper in that, but all 4 of these look like they might have been stripped of their copper. Actually, no. That one looks like it might still have something in it, but looks like somebody took the copper. Why I've noticed that somebody took the copper is because I think there was, let's see, I don't know if it's still around here, but like you see, there's some more right here. But what got me kind of, I think it was noticing the copper thieves this was the first thing I noticed, wondering if somebody got into the copper wiring. And when I noticed that thing right there, I looked over here and noticed that it looks like there's one, 2. Let's see, there's, like I said, I guess there's maybe, like, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 air conditioning units here, 4 air conditioning units over there that got taken. I might see a little copper in there that they missed out on. Like I said, they missed out on some other. The only reason I say looks like they missed out on some copper is because it looks like some copper down in there. But it looks like some copper thieves got into it. It's hard to tell if there's anybody doing service here. But it smells a little like more plastic right now. But like I said, I've been to this church I've been to this church a few times with my mother when I was a kid. When we were living on Killian Street, but after, but I've only been to this church once after I moved back. When I moved over to this area when I was probably like around 20. But here's another reason why I kind of feel like this. I wonder if this church doesn't have anybody attending it, because it looks like it's just needing to be repaired. Desperate repair. Because that right there looks like some missing shingles right there. You have this right here. I noticed while I was here on Thanksgiving, it was, let's see. Well, another thing I noticed was, I think it was on this side of where I was coming from. I think it might have been like some shingles, as you can tell, some shingles right there missing. Like this needs a new roof. There's some shingles over there that looks like they're just damaged. Of course, when I looked inside where the missing shingles are, I don't know if it's from. No, it's not from this angle. But I think I had to go from this angle. When I was looking through the door, I don't know if y'all can see through there, but it looks like there's a hole in the roof with some stuff coming out. It looks like it's hard, like I said, it's hard to tell, if it's being used, if this church is being used or not. But almost, like I said, it almost looks like it needs a lot in dire repair. It'd be nice if I could find out if this, if anybody's actually using this church or not. But I figure it's hard to, I guess it's hard to try to use this church because I figure there's probably no electricity if there's copper thieves. But it looks like there's at least one air conditioning unit they haven't got to. That would be easy to get to if you had something to cut that padlock off, and then jump over. But like I said, as you can tell, this is kind of an interesting looking church. It'd be a shame if they if it gets demolished just because it needs some repairs. But like I said, the only reason why I think the only reason why I think they haven't been using this building for at least a year or two is because when I started doing my homework on it, it almost looks like somebody left a comment saying that it looks like they aren't doing any type of service here a year ago. And of course, like I said, it's hard to believe that if there's any church services here, because as you can tell, if this is the power, the breaker, it's like hard to believe that anybody's actually using this place because looks like like I said, the copper thieves got to it. Because my guess is this is where breakers are for the power, and I don't think this. I'd be surprised if this place has any electricity. So, oh, there are cops. I'm wondering somebody called just to sit there and say there's somebody suspicious around here. Because I was making a video about the concepts of a abandoned old church, so I better get going. Seems like everybody's always thinking people are up to no good when in today's world. So like I said, I heard sirens. I don't know if there's cops or not. No. But I wanted to at least make a video about this church, about the Handley Meadowbrook Christian Church. And let's see, like I said, it's a shame to see this church in such disrepair. But my guess is this: I'm wondering if with COVID, if COVID made it where made the attendance go down to a point where they couldn't have enough money to take care of the building. And yes, I've been over to that church over there too, at least once. But that was about, I think, 03. Around 02, 03, which I didn't really care for. It seemed like it was almost like it was like church that wasn't going to last very long, and apparently it got swapped hands. But I guess this is what the church is supposed to be called. But I don't know if it's still active. I don't think I remember. See, look. Yeah, I don't know if there's only way into this fence is, I guess through here. This looks like it hasn't been used in years. Many years. Looks like it's still in good enough shape. But like I said, this is, as you tell, there's a sanctuary. Here's the door that they don't use. My guess is some homeless people probably come stay here. My guess. This homeless person probably set that there. But like I said, this is an interesting looking building. Like I said, I've been to it once a few times with my mom when I was probably less than 5 years old. I think I was about 4. Huh. I wonder if that's actually a working camera or not. Probably not, because, my guess is, I can take a wild guess. They probably haven't used this church in a while, whoever owns it. Because like I said, it almost looks like it's in dire repair. See, right there. Probably needs a bunch of money just to get this church up and going. As you tell, that fell down like a few years ago. But like I said, I've always wondered, for the past few years, I've been wondering if somebody's been going to this church or not. It almost looks like they kind of did a little patch work up there, but it didn't last. Doors boarded out there. Like I said, my guess is nobody's using this church for a long time. I'm just surprised nobody's used this church for about a year or two. feel like I'm gonna have to probably make a whole video about why I think, my opinion on why some churches are failing the past several years. Going down the list of things why I say, hey, this is why, like I said, my ABCs and my A, B, C, D, E, F, G, explain, give my opinion why I think some churches are doing good, so why some aren't. And like I said, sad to see this one going. I guess I'll title this one Handley Meadowbrook Christian Church, because it was the Handley Meadowbrook Christian Church at one given time, but not now. It'd be nice to get this church actually up and running again, but it would probably take some work, a lot of money and work. I like these, I like old church buildings like this one that looks all unique. As you can tell from the outside, it looks unique. But like, I wonder if the reason why this one didn't do good was because of COVID. But like I said, after that Handley Meadowbrook Christian Church moved to Morris Avenue, which my guess is either moved into probably Crossroads or the City on the Hill Church. Apparently they were there for about a few years and moved to what I heard is South Arlington, off of 20, I want to say close to Little Road, right in the area where there's where that restaurant called Max, on the same side as Cracker Barrel is on. And I mean Max, like M-A-C''S. That's where it moved to, and I think they changed their name to like something like Trinity or something like that. But like I say, this church I think is dead for the most part. Nice little land back there. But this is, like I said, it's sad to see this thing in such disrepair. The sirens have gone, so I figured I'm safe now, but I'll post this here probably soon.